All right, we're live. All right, we're live.
Okay, welcome everyone. We are back for Workshop Wednesday. This is Design Month at Topcoder. Excited to be back this week. We have some special guests, and we have some.
We are back for Workshop Wednesday. This is Design Month at Topcoder. Excited to be back this week.
Someone need to mute.
We are back for Workshop Wednesday. This is Design Month at Topcoder. Excited to be back this week.
Does someone need to mute the? Isa, I think you need to mute the YouTube. Okay, we are good to go. So, as I said, we're excited to be back. We have some special guests this week. Let's kick this off, introduce everyone again. So this week, our Master of Ceremonies, we have Isa. So Isa, real quick intro.
Hi, Isa. We've been meeting every week, so you guys know me by now. I go by High Def. I'm one of the challenge architects, and happy to work with you and happy to be here for another Workshop Wednesday.
Great. And over to Anthony, coming in from London.
Hi. Well, you just took one of my lines. I'm the challenge architect from London. Again, glad to be here with you guys. I'm looking forward to this print of this year's design challenge and hopefully learning and picking up from as many of you as possible.
Yeah, I think every week we need to start doing a where in the world we are. So, because this week Isa and I are actually in Houston, Texas. So, also we have I am Tong coming in from Thailand. Quick intro.
So I'm from Thailand. I've been competing in Topcoder for 10 years.
Has it been 10 years already? Wow.
Yeah. No, right?
Wow.
Okay.
I just feel really old all of a sudden. Okay, and coming in from Indonesia, Yoki.
Hi guys, my name is Yogi from Indonesia, and I've been competing in Topcoder 9 years now.
Okay, we can stop throwing years out. Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, everyone knows Jesse, but Jesse, if you have a quick intro.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm the community manager at Topcoder, so excited to be here today.
Okay, so jumping in. Not able to join us today is also Sanita and Vignesh out of our India Topcoder team. So jumping in this week, we're going to jump right into Design Month Dash that has been running. This is Jesse's experimental design dash, and I'll hand it over to her real quick here to give us the latest update.
All right, you guys, this week we did round 2, and these are the results from round 2. And let me just say that I was so impressed with these results. The round 2 was to create an app design for TCO finals, actually. And to be honest, I was blown away that I actually want to build the app now. I've never had the budget or the time, but when I saw those designs, I was like, oh, I have to make this. So congratulations to all our advancers. And as you can see, in the heat 3, 5th and 6th were so close that we decided to reward 2 placements. So 2 of you advance instead of just 5. So I'm really excited to announce the winners, and you'll be notified shortly with all the great feedback that you got. So I'd like to go through and show some of the designs. So Isa, if you want to just pin there you go, great. Pin the deck so everyone can see the slides. So the first round winner is PTB, and this was a really great app design. He got to use a piece of pizza and a boat. Those were the random items that he had to use. And so this design was really cool. We loved the little added items at the bottom. Moving on to heat number 2, the top place was Vivek Sati. And loved the use of the bus and the chicken that they added. And just as I forgot to mention, I did ask the co-pilots who ran these challenges to pick their favorite out of the heat. So it not necessarily the first place, but the one that they really liked the best. So this was the one that the co-pilot selected. And quick shout out to all the co-pilots. They did an amazing job. Dara K, Chexper, Perry Vicky, Mahestro, and GRV Ashu. I always mess up his handle. But anyway, that was heat 2. And then moving on to heat 3 was Sindika. So congratulations there. Really great visuals here, lots of features, really done well. And it was a big hit with some of the judges. And then heat number 4, Rizki Kairani. Don't yell at me for the mispronunciation of your names. But this was a 3rd place winner that the co-pilot wanted to showcase. A very, very cool app design. I think this heat had some really, really good designs. They had to use a lemon and a bicycle. So incorporating those into design was really tricky, but they did a really great job. And I loved some of the features that they had here. And then finally, heat number 5, the 1st place was Kont Pets, and loved this one. I thought it was a really different approach. They had to use eggs and a train as their random item. So I think that everybody who participated did an outstanding job. It was really hard to pick winners. We were really, really impressed. As I said, that I want to build the app. So thank you, everybody. Congratulations. Round 2 is kicking off already on Friday. Round 3 is kicking off Friday. And all those designers you saw will be competing in round 3. And the ultimate prize after round 3 is a trip to the TCO finals. So I'm really excited. We have a really great problem for you to solve for round 3. You only have 24 hours, so it's going to be a really quick challenge. But looking forward to seeing those results next week and announcing them live here on the final workshop Wednesday for Design Month. So thank you, everybody.
So Jesse, I have to just definitely say that this has been a lot of fun judging the designs. And for everyone out there, Jesse has recruited most of the company to do some judging. So it's been a lot of fun having different people throughout who normally would not be looking at designs and critiquing and providing feedback, doing that. So she has a lot of the sales team and a lot of the R&D team. So throughout Topcoder, who are contributing and evaluating the design. So that's been a lot of fun. And then also just, you know, the level of quality from round 1 to round 2. So I'm super excited about this next round. Definitely know that everyone had a lot more fun with this one than the profile page. So I definitely know that, hey, as designers and in this community, we all do a lot of mobile design. So I think everyone definitely excelled here in this round, and it's probably a lot more enjoyable than working on the profile pages. So my 2 cents. Okay. Jumping in, Jesse, anything else? Are we good?
Yeah, no, that was it from my end. Thanks, everybody, for the time.
Okay. So jumping into our Workshop Wednesday, reminder, as we do every week, just kind of why we're here and what is Topcoder Design. So welcome to Topcoder Design. If there's anybody out there that is new, we are a global community that is focused on solving real-world UX and UI problems through this crazy thing that we do, which is crowdsourcing. As a Topcoder designer, you have an opportunity to compete in all types of design challenges to win money, sharpen your skills, and learn the latest technologies. Our company name is Topcoder, so customers coming to us tend to be bringing the latest and greatest in technology and questions that they have about technology. So as a designer, you have an opportunity to jump in and design new and exciting interfaces for the latest technologies that are out there. So we are a challenge-based process. So when you submit your design concept or solution, our goal is to provide critique and feedback. We instruct and help educate our customers to provide feedback to you. And through this process, we promote design education, open design thinking, and innovation through rapid design. I always like to say it's about challenging ourselves, the design process, and the way we work together as a community, and as many of us feel as also as a very large design family. We have many opportunities to specialize within our community, from information architecture to UI UX design to front-end development. We welcome you to our community and look forward to seeing you all in future challenges. And this week we are going to cover off on front-end development. So real quick, information architecture, UI design, front-end development, and talent as a service, as I've been talking throughout the month. So information architecture is where we focus on wireframes, black and white, looking at the requirements, looking at what our customers are looking to do, and breaking that down into really showing interactions, relationships, and of course, user flows. UI design is what we mostly focus on, which is that front-end design piece. That's what a lot of you designers come to Topcoder to compete on. And then we have front-end development, which is what we're going to cover off on this week, which is that really taking the designer's vision and turning that into front-end code. So that is HTML, CSS, Angular, React, and this is, if you're interested in this type of track, it's a great place to get into not only design but also development. And talent as a service, this is where you have an opportunity to work directly with our customers and work within special select groups and teams to help get work done for our customers that may be specialized or maybe under specific requirements that a customer needs. We're really excited about tasks because it's going to give everyone here more opportunities to get work, but to also get paid directly. So super excited about talent as a service. So we're going to jump into front-end development, and then we have our guests that we will talk to here in a little bit, and then I also have some highlights to show from the Design Direction Challenge that we had last week and was announced last week. So front-end dev. So historically at Topcoder, this has been our UI prototype track. So for many years, this was mostly focused on HTML, CSS conversion, then into HTML5. And of course, now we are progressing and evolving into using front-end JavaScript languages like Angular and React. So the front-end development track is where you as a front-end coder or as a developer, and you happen to have a really good eye for converting design over into front-end development, this is a great track for you. This is one of the tracks that I've been very proud of over the years because I've thought we've been able to do a really good job of converting a designer's vision into code that looks really good in the browser, and we've been able to provide this to Topcoder customers where they've had gaps in their ability to actually get this done properly. So this whole process really is focused in on converting what we've designed, what you as designers have done, and then turning that into HTML, CSS, Angular, and React. So the key technologies are listed here, which, like as I said, HTML5, CSS3, a lot of JavaScript libraries, open source libraries, Bootstrap, Angular, React, and WordPress. So key things to think about when you're doing the front end dev, and of course, and as designers, you need to also understand how your designs are going to be developed. So you should also be focusing in on your grids and understanding breakpoints across responsive frameworks. So understanding grid systems and when to use them. So even as a designer, this is great information, especially being that our name is Topcoder. So most of our customers are coming to us for some kind of technology solution, understanding how to design using the grid systems, and of course, knowing where things should break from phone to tablet to desktop. And of course, across other technologies that we're seeing. Retina design, so understanding what the different sizes mean. Setting up your files, so when we get into the technologies of how we're creating our files, so how we're naming our layers, organization of that, the usage of smart objects, vector. So these are all key things that as a designer, you should be focused in on understanding and making sure that your files are ready for when we actually need to convert that over to code. And then we also have additional information around being a full stack designer. So the key things that for the full stack designer, we think it's really useful for you to know is obviously the UX design, UI design, interaction design. So these are the key areas for you to focus in on. Then understanding really how that converts into that front end code. So are you using frameworks like Bootstrap, or is it going to be custom? And then the back end, and for more of a full stack developer, understanding how the back end also works. So what's eventually going to be built in, and of course, how do those databases work? So all the different areas that you can jump into and start to excel to be more of a full stack designer, and of course, understanding what a full stack developer tools and skill sets are needed. So stages of front end dev challenge. While in design challenges, we start off, we have a checkpoint, and we have a final. In code challenges, we have a registration phase, and during that registration phase, you can unregister. And then we have a submission phase where you work on and submit your code, and after that, your code goes into a review. So there are this is a peer review process, and this is where other members in the community who are on our review board will review your code, and you will end up getting a score based on how well you put your code together and how well your code does during the review process. After the review process, we have a stage that's called final fixes. So any of those issues that are found during that review, those are brought forward, and you're made aware of that and the things that need to be fixed. And then there is a final review based on you making those updates. So a little different than the design process, obviously similar stages, but the key thing here is that you actually do have that peer review process where you are evaluated, and you can learn what you did correct and incorrect. So that is the front end dev steps. I don't know, Jesse, are there any questions out there? Or we'll jump right into our panel we have.
Actually, Adam, there is one question I think Jesse did answer, but maybe it would be good to maybe get your point of view on it. So Ankit asked, how do we systematically approach what data to prioritize when designing for small screens such as mobile?
How do we prioritize the data?
Yeah, which data is most important? I guess they're trying to ask, I guess as far as like hierarchy, like.
Yeah, no, and it's a great question. But so the first thing that comes to mind is going to be, what's the problem you're looking to solve, right? So what's the initial? So if you're designing for mobile, and you're focused in on, I always say, like, you're looking at your dashboard, right? And so what's the question or what's the problem the customer's trying to solve? So what's the that creates the priority of that data, right? So if you, I see many times that designers may put profile information or a big giant image of the user on the dashboard, but if the dashboard is focused in on some analytics or things that really should be the most important thing on the dashboard, why is that profile image the first thing I see? So I think it comes down to, like, when you open up the app, the first time you look at it as a user, what is the action and what is the priority of that data? And that's the best way to look at it, or that's the thing that comes to mind when I hear that question. So what is the app, the purpose of the app, what's the purpose of the data, and then that should be bringing forward what the most important thing is. At least that's my thoughts.
Yep, good explanation. I think that's it. That's
okay.
Let's see.
So excited to jump into tools we love. So this is with our special guests today. We happen to have Tong and Yoki with us, and so I'm going to turn this into more of a them presenting and us asking them some questions. So as in our intros, Tong has been a designer here since 2009, and Yoki, you said 9 years, but you've actually been here a little longer than that. So 2008. So Yoki and Tong, how are you two doing? Both of you can go off mute and say, I'm doing great.
Yeah, I'm doing great, and sometimes I play with Tong, playing games online.
You guys playing games right now?
No. No. We
Okay.
will. We will.
Jay
Okay.
is waiting for us.
So I wanted to talk this week. I wanted to talk about the tools and platforms that we like to use. So Sketch and Experience Design and Marvel App and Zeppelin and Abstract. So Tong, if we could start off with you, I think what's the tool that you wanted to talk about today, and if you can give us show us your screen and kind of talk through the tools that you love to work with.
Okay, let me share my screen. Screen. Okay, I'm going to talk about Adobe XD. Is my screen on?
Yep, you're good.
Yep. Okay. So XD is light and fast and really help you speed up your process. The function I want to talk about here is the repeat grid, where you can just say here. Okay. Oop. Okay. So we get this, and we use the repeat grid function. So it can easily build a list up for you.
That's pretty fast.
Yep.
So real quick, we're looking at Experience Design, Adobe Experience Design, so XD, and this is when did you start learning XD?
I think last year.
Last year. And is this your main tool that you use right now?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So,
and for a while there, I think we were running challenges that had Sketch. Did you also learn Sketch?
yes, I also learned Sketch.
Okay, but now you're focused on XD.
Yeah, I'm more on XD because I like the way it's the app itself is like really fast and lightweight. So let's get back to this. I have a photo, a profile photo here, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I just drag it in here, so it goes there for you. So, and the text file, yeah, I have the list of the name. I drag it here, and I drag it here. So, boom.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to start using XD.
So this is how
I'm old.
you can go with XD, and you can like adjust and it's repeat it. So if you change if you change one of your grid, it will apply to all grid that you duplicate. So this is the feature that really helped you to speed up your work.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. And so this obviously in Topcoder, we have a lot of fast challenges. There's a lot of time crunch. So XD has been able to help you with that. I imagine you just have some standard kind of workflows now, right?
Yeah, right. And one more thing I really liked about XD is the prototype feature. So it's basically like Marvel app where you can link the screen with the preset of transition from artboard to artboard. So let's see here. I have a series of screens here, so I can share via prototype, or I can just play it So this is how you can do with the XD prototype. You can drag, you can define your animation, your transition to convey your concept to customer. Yep. So something like this.
And so you're able to save that as like, does that just save as a movie file, or what does that save as?
Yeah. But I think it's only Mac. Windows couldn't save as a movie file.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously everything that we do at Topcoder is virtual. So being able to show those interactions or being able to show a quick clip like that is definitely beneficial. So it helps a customer understand those interactions. That's where myself and Issa and Anthony jump in and help explain these things to a customer. But if you're actually able to show a quick little clip like that, that obviously does that for them and for us. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So as far as XD, are there any other things that jump out at you as like kind of like your go-to tools on it?
I'm working on other projects outside of Topcoder. They are using Fixma.
Fixma? Okay.
Yeah, especially for collaboration. So you can actually make comment to the design screen. You can like tag people. You can have like global master component and have like children as instance, and you can just make a global edit to the component. The XD just has it like a few weeks ago. It's pretty awesome.
Okay. Now I think with XD, can we can you share essentially your prototype also?
Yeah. You can publish for review, or you can publish for development. So it's gonna publish to Creative Cloud, and
So
you just that link.
okay, so I guess so. You say you're also using Figma. So like, is there like what's standing out on Figma that makes you kind of switch between the two?
It's pretty much like XD and Fixma. What you stand out for Fixma is I think it's a collaboration aspect.
Got it.
Where you really easy to communicate with the team. Yeah, it's just like the Google Doc for design.
Okay, because we're obviously interested in that because that's what we've been using Marvel app for, for a while now to create that collaboration. So the more we can do that, and of course we've been leveraging Abstract for doing some of that also.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone out there have questions about XD? It looks like everyone's talking about recording video, so I guess arguing whether or not you can or can't on Windows. Okay.
Yeah. I actually had a question for Tong about his transition to XD. So you had been using Sketch previously. I was wondering, like, what made you decide to switch? Like, what made you want to experiment and decide to say, oh, let me try out XD? Because, generally when someone uses a tool, it's like, that's their tool and they just kind of stick with it. What made you want to, just kind of do that experimentation?
For me?
Yeah, for you, Tom.
Yeah. So we can say that like Sketch, Fixma, XD. These are like new tools, right? That's only been developed for web and mobile design. So it actually like optimized for this type of design. So it speed up your process, and it cut off unnecessary features like Photoshop, like Illustrator, that they have many things for you that you don't need, right? Yeah, and with the repeat grid that I just showed, is it really helps. It just like really fast working on this new types of tool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's jump over to Yoki. So, hey, Yoki, what's the design tool platforms that you love? What do you want to talk
Um,
about?
yeah. Since 2017, when I first time I bought Mac and I switched to Sketch. That's because you promise to designer that you Sketch you will give $100 as motivation. But apparently I didn't get that bonus.
It's coming. The checks in the mail.
Yeah. So I basically decided over than 2 years whether I both Mac and using Sketch, because back then I still use Photoshop. Um, Sketch it's way powerful than Photoshop for prototyping. Um, and now I think Adobe knows that their customer moved to Sketch, and they decided to build an XD, and here we are now. And XD keeping updating their apps, which I think I will decided to try more in XD, as Tong showed what what this wizard thing to wizard. So first I want to comment about how good is Mac is, because I was Windows user, and Mac combining with Sketch, it's pretty much powerful. I can say that it's powerful because we can customize from the shortcut and customize our tool, so it will fit to our need. Wait.
Okay, so you're jumping into a design.
Yeah. Okay, I will use this. Okay. And when Topcoder decided to use Marvel instead of InVision, actually Sketch has a good relationship with Marvel, so I think they decided to make Marvel as a plugin, and we can directly share our design and make it into a prototype in Marvel like this. Oops, sorry.
Yep. So last year
Yeah.
we had last year, I guess over the last couple of years, we've had a lot of
Yeah.
customers come to us wanting to use Sketch, right? So we ran some challenges promoting that customers just wanted Sketch as their source files. So we have a lot of different design teams with our customers were starting to use Sketch. Yeah.
And yeah, because um, now mostly client is demanding the Sketch short file, because it's way more lighter and more compatible and integrated to other system online like Figma and Zeppelin and Abstract. It made Sketch a powerful tool to collaborate with other designer. So you don't have to build one source file and then the other designer made a different source file and then you decided to mix. But in using Abstract, we can collaborate directly, and we can see what kind of change uh, already made in Abstract. And the most I love is Sketch is allow us to make own shortcut. You can see here I made shortcut key, a lot of them, just for just for the Sketch app. We cannot do that in Adobe product. In Photoshop and Illustrator, we cannot do that by using a Mac system to build a shortcut. But now XD is allowed to do that. So I also made some shortcut for XD, but I don't know how long Adobe will open this kind of feature about a shortcut key. I think they will have own shortcut, so it will not allowed to be customized.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see. I'll tell you. I opened up Photoshop the other day, and all my key commands were gone. So they completely changed them all on me. So that was the last time I opened up Photoshop. So there you go.
and the most best thing in Sketch is the plugin. The plugins, it open source and so many plugin from the free until subscribe. I I recommend it to all Sketch user is install the Runner Pro because we can make a symbol or component and then we call it directly like this thing, like this. We can call it into our library. I think XD has a library, but they must be online. But in Sketch, you just save your library at this one. So, for example, we have so many library, and you can add or delete it or update, but you can still call your library even in offline design. For example, I used to make my own icons and collect it in here. So I made in my icon sketch. Once I made a new design, I can call it directly using Runner plugin. You can just insert any icon that already included in library. It's like this. But the cons about Sketch is when we are working with very much or very much photography and many art, but it's has a delay about movement, like lagging.
Has some lagging. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not experienced in XD, but since I
No, XD doesn't have this issue, Yogi. Move.
really, but maybe you can try using a lot of picture like this with many artboard. Yeah, but yeah, but now
Well,
yeah, I admit that XD have as a cool animation feature that really smooth. So I usually um, keep my work in keep the source file in Sketch. But when I want to show to the client as a independent prototype, I will export them into XD. This one. Yeah, I still learning how to make the transformation from Sketch into XD. It's seamless. From here, you can share directly this prototype, this one, and you can play it actually in any other mobile device. As you see that Sketch, there it only allowed iPhone to prototyping directly. But if we want to use Android, we must use Scala preview for Sketch. But in XD, you can just share your link and it will be live in mobile, in any mobile device. That's the positive, the pros, pro point in XD. I think I will keep exploring XD, but I will not leave Sketch immediately because some clients still need Sketch to be developed because it's developer friendly. I think that's it. I think.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you for that. Yeah. So, over the last couple of years, with customers asking for Sketch, and obviously a lot of the stuff that we do is driven by what our customers are asking for. We've also looked at, we use Abstract, which is essentially versioning, which is using Sketch's abilities. They're just the way they constructed it and being able to use their plugins. So we're able to track versions with that, and then of course the plugin with Marvel app, and then of course we've been leveraging Zeppelin IO to also do design over to the front end dev piece. We use that to also track all the different elements. So Marvel app, I know, is coming out with some of those things. I think there's other platforms that are coming out with similar features. We're looking to have maybe another session around essentially Marvel app and some of those other platforms. Any questions for Yoki on Sketch? So I think right now, most of our design challenges have been focused on Sketch and XD over the last 6 months or so. We still have Photoshop is still an option, of course, and Illustrator, but I think most of the designers and most of the customers have been requesting either Sketch or XD. Isa, Anthony, any questions for our panel?
No.
Okay.
I guess just. Oh, you want to say something, Anthony?
No, go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead. Okay. With regards to the two different tools, so I remember that I've always experimented with different software platforms, and Sketch, I remember when that became available as well. I actually used it in a very similar format to what you could just showed us with mapping out the whole process. But Yuki, you mentioned sticking with Sketch for the development features or capabilities that he has that XD doesn't. I'm just wondering what features or how XD takes care of that approach from Tom's perspective. Do you still also rely on Sketch to get those things done, or could you optimize your workflow within XD to get that same result? So slicing assets for development and exporting stuff to go into front-end development. How does XD handle that?
Is it a question for Tom?
Yeah, or either of you, with regard to preparing for the...
Sorry, my connection was not very good. Can you repeat the question again?
So when you're designing in XD for development, preparing for front-end and over, how do you compare to Sketch? What's that workflow process like?
Okay, so my process of design with XD, right?
Designing and preparing your design to go to development.
Or to go to development.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can export any objects from XD as SVG.
Okay.
And you can also publish to Zeppelin, or you can share your code directly from XD file for development.
So how does that compare to Sketch? In your experience, would you say that's more advanced?
Oh, okay. So I don't really work much on Sketch, but Well, from Sketch, I think we upload to Zeppelin too for development. So it's pretty much the same way. But I think there is issue with symbol, right, Yogi? When you override something and you export to Zeppelin, it doesn't change the color or doesn't apply the style, right?
Yeah, the interactive style sheet you're referring to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yuki, I'm just wondering, do you want to chime in on that? When you export to Zeppelin or you export out, do you have? I mean, I'm just looking at the two software. They seem very similar. The
Yeah.
benefits, obviously, with XD, we can see it in the presenting prototypes and experience designs and showcasing what's been designed. Seems to be a lot smoother with XD than with Sketch. And then the Sketch's advantage is what I'm trying to establish.
Well, I can show Zeppelin, but I think
Yeah.
I think they both. The slight fact that Zeppelin works, and then of course Marvel App has their tool for exporting for development.
Mm.
You know, I think both of them, you know, they're not hindered. I guess I don't know if there's. I don't really get a sense that there. You know, both of them kind of work similar. In this case, better than Photoshop, right? So if you see my screen, I'm in Zeppelin. And so if I go into this design, I'm able to actually go in and look at the different elements, right?
Mm-hmm.
And export them out for development for our front end dev challenges.
Okay, so yeah.
Right. And this would have been a sketch file that came in.
Mm.
So all the different elements. But it works the same way with XD.
Gotcha.
That's also because Zeppelin has made their platform work with those tools, right?
Yeah.
And Marvel App has something similar.
With Sketch, there is you have the option to upload hand off to Marvel App. That is also generate the code the code for development.
Yep. So that's where we're actually starting to use Marvel App a little bit more for some of that.
Cool.
And then just to reiterate, I'll show everyone also Abstract. So Abstract is the tool that we've been using to track similar to Git. So they have a desktop and a web version, but essentially I can go in here and I have my project, and in here I have my source files. And what we do is that we're able to actually track the source files. So these are all the images that, similar to what Yoki was just showing, right? But it's tracking all the versions of these images inside of Abstract. And we can also comment and communicate inside here. What this doesn't do well is prototype, right? So this is where we still use Marvel App or another tool to actually just show the prototype and the interactions and things like that. So even here, we still have links out to the actual project. But what it does great is it actually tracks all the versions of the design. So I think in an open design methodology, this is pretty cool because you're able to pick up designs at different stages, or as designers collaborating, maybe I could take Tong's design and fork it, right, and start working on something else. So I think from an open design perspective, it's a really cool way of tracking design. And of course, the ability, what our customers like about this is that we're able to track it at all times and understand where certain designs are, and if needed, we can go back to a different design at any given time.
Cool.
Okay. So this is where I'd love to see this. I'd love to use this for XD also. So I'm sure someone will come up with it, but I know right now there isn't. It's not available yet for Abstract. I don't know if you guys have, how many of you have seen that before, but that's definitely a bit of the ecosystem that we like to use. Okay, any questions?
Yeah, I was gonna say I did see a question in the chat, kind of regarding icons. So Ankit asked regarding design challenges, why are we not supporting Font Awesome icon packs and material design icons, which are like free icon packages?
We used to support Font Awesome, but I think when we went into development, they weren't working well, or we couldn't get. They're not necessarily free. I think you have to pay for the SVGs, something like that. So we ended up stop using those. But anything like Font Awesome or material design icons. So here, first and foremost, we have approved libraries. So you need to follow those rules right now. If there are other libraries that we should be looking at, then propose them and we can evaluate them. But many times, why we're not using some of those libraries is going to be because there is some kind of hang up or something around rights. Okay, so we're super careful with that. So we want to make sure that anything that we're presenting to our customers is going to be allowed to be used, and then of course that they can go and purchase those things. There was one of those, and I don't know if it's Font Awesome or something else, that we ended up having problems with the SVGs or not being able to get the SVGs, or the development process around them wasn't very useful for us. So that's why we stopped using it. But if I'm always open to listening, I'm always open to seeing and hearing, and if you guys have new ideas, and we'll go and evaluate, and we can always add new things to the list. The key thing is, while the list is in place, we need to make sure that we're focused on using that list and not random other resources. Okay. Okay, if there are any other questions on this, I'm going to showcase some things that we did last week on the design direction. So last week I announced that we had design direction challenges that we launched as part of Design Month, and we ran 2 challenges, and I wanted to showcase these right now. So Issa, are you able to show this? So we ran. Issa, are we good?
Yeah, we good.
Okay, so we ran 2 design direction challenges. So design direction is focused on we ran smaller versions of this, and in the future these will be smaller versions. So the 2 challenges we ran were essentially about 36 hours, so they were pretty fast. Or very fast. And the goal of this challenge was really kind of providing design direction guidance for our customer's project. Our customer was in a workshop. They were in a design thinking workshop. They had a bunch of design thinking artifacts. This is sketches on the wall, whiteboarding. So a lot of really great design process that they were leveraging. And they took that information, took photos of it, and provided that as inputs into our design challenge. And the goal here wasn't to do high fidelity designs like we normally have in a Rux challenge. If no one knows what a Rux challenge is, that's our rapid user experience challenge. This was meant to be more of a truly like, hey, here's some wireframes, here's some initial direction, not every single screen, but here's what we think about your problem, and here's some additional concepts or thoughts around where you're headed. My goal with this kind of design direction challenge in the future is more of a 24 or 48 hour precursor to a regular challenge. So the way I look at this is it's almost like a visual input into an actual design challenge. So we had the Queen City, and then we also had the Disruptors. So these are 2 teams that were competing at the workshop, and they launched challenges at the same time. So if we looked at the Queen City, this one was focused on a mobile app that would be working towards interior wayfinding. So the idea is not exterior mapping, but when you go into a building, how do you navigate? So if you're at a stadium, so this was our first place, and this was, I believe, Toxic Pixel. So this was his presentation. So the idea is showing some interaction modes of the actual device, some AR. He provided some designer notes in here, and then getting into what some of the functionality potential could be for the compass mode, getting into the AR wireframe, and now talking about some of the scenarios that the customer had provided from the workshop. So this was how they might be able to navigate within a casino, how you might be able to navigate within a stadium, how you might be able to navigate, not only from the customer view, but also maybe a vendor view. So he provided some, this is taking it to another level within the material design, but he did show some front end visuals along with the wireframes, but the ability to, keep showing and providing some design direction guidance. So this was the first place out of one of them. And then getting into showing what the colors around the branding, guidelines around icons, so design direction. So I thought this was pretty cool, great job. And overall, the customer really liked this because Toxic Pixel also brought in some new concepts around geofencing and providing different types of rewards within the wayfinding process. The second one was focused in on essentially an idea generation platform or crowdsourcing platform. And this is the design direction from this one. And what this designer did was they did a great job of providing a kind of a brief overall design values, color palette, and then providing some inspiration. So all of this in a design direction I thought was super powerful, but it wasn't the primary thing. The primary thing was really showing kind of that blend of front end simple wireframes and maybe a little bit of a treatment of a concept. So this was super powerful, but at the end result, the key thing of design direction is really providing a direction for designers on where you think the app could go, what are some ideas around the apps, and then of course getting into the color palettes and things like that. So this designer did a great job of evaluating the personas. So in this specific one, we had the casual explorer, the engaged idea generator, the admin, campaign manager, and the decision maker. So did a really great job of digging into the persona, and this was super helpful for the customer. Getting into some just some ideas around the project, getting into ideas around the flow, and then this is getting into their wireframes. So, and some notes around the wireframes for how this ideation platform. So not completely designing and going high fidelity, but showing ideas and call outs around the initial design direction. So this challenge, we ran two of them at the same time. There was obviously a lot going on, and I think because it was part of a workshop, there was a little more requested as part of the second half of the challenge. But my goal with these is truly going to be more of a 24-hour, you as a designer provide some initial design direction, 3 or 4 wireframes as input into an actual design challenge. So I'm super excited about this format, and I'm really excited about the outcomes. So great job, everyone, and thank you for jumping in on this during Topcoder Design Month. Okay. Any questions on this?
Someone was asking about, I guess, Topcoder not having approved sites for using maps. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've just never, I don't think, we've just never really had an approved site for maps. I think we just leveraged open, any stock maps, things like that. We did have, years ago, we actually supplied a map, an open source map that I think we had actually purchased and we could reuse. So, I mean, there's always potential of bringing that back. So, okay, it looks like we're about at time, so let me wrap up some things here. So design community updates. We have a live design on Thursday with Rio. So 1 hour of live design. Rio is a TCO 18 finalist and longtime Topcoder design member. And he will be jumping in and using Sketch. And his topic is design thinking process that allows him or has helped him win Rux placements and Rux challenges. Okay. So he's going to recreate his Microsoft design that he did for a rapid user experience Rux challenge. He's going to recreate that from scratch, and he took second place in that specific challenge. So check that out Thursday, 10 a.m. Topcoder Eastern US Eastern time. So jump in, and that's going to be really awesome. So looking forward to seeing everyone there. And then we have our Topcoder Design Bootcamp, the second class. So the previous class was successful. So we are now looking, registration is open until May 24th. And this is in Yogyakarta. And mentors that are going to be there are Avif and I'm sorry, I always get this wrong, Kanushawan. So
just call it Kusnun.
Kushnun.
Yeah.
You're always gonna have to keep teaching me on that one. So sorry, Kanushwan. And then UI Bootcamp runs from May 27th to May 29th. On-site UI, learn about basic design principles, and then the UX Bootcamp runs from July 30th to July 4th. And then at some point this summer, I should be out there also. So I'll be in Indonesia, and we'll be talking about additional design workshops when I make my way out there. So, and then next week we have interviewing with more designers, and of course anything that Jesse has to close out for Topcoder Design Month. I may not be on next week as I will be traveling to India, but I will see if I can if I'll be able to make it. But I'm sure you guys will all be in good hands with Isa and Anthony. Okay. Any last questions?
I think Tong want to go to India.
No, Japan.
Japan. Yeah. Well, we have TCO. We do have a TCO regional in Japan.
So. You can share your skill in India, Tong.
So there was a request. Can we request a panel of XD responsive live design workshop for any time in the future? Well, we'll give that a shot. Super excited that Rio is going to be showing us his sketch skills. So yeah, I think we should try some of that.
Yeah,
okay.
we actually have a channel in Slack for XD, which Toxic Pixel created like years ago. We already discussed like and share like tips and tricks and like news updates and stuff. Yeah, just join there to learn more.
If you're in the Topcoder Slack, there is an XD channel that you can talk more XD.
Just make sure not to mention any sketch tool in there.
Nice. Okay, everyone. Thank you. Once again, exciting Workshop Wednesday, and it was great to see everyone. Thank you, Yoki. Thank you, Tong. Appreciate your time and appreciate your thoughts and ideas and everything. Okay, everyone.
Okay,
Thank
thanks.
you, guys.
Take care.
Just like it, Yoki.